What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to a special live edition of Lyles Figure Files. As you can tell, I'm a little bit annoyed because Monday Night Football did not go the way I wanted. My Niners just choked completely. I don't know what the heck we were doing. Awful week, awful game for us. And I have to avoid all Niner radio talk shows because everyone's going to call for everyone's head. But there was some good news on the horizon, though, because the Marvel Legends HasLab Giant Man did fund. Let's break it all down. But first up, what's up, everybody? We're here tonight, and I know there's a lot of excitement. Lots of people were checking in on my posts throughout the day and like, hey, it looks like we're getting closer. And it was wild. It was crazy. But let's take a look back at the journey of this thing over the last few days and hours because it did not necessarily seem like, hey, this thing's going to be a given. Who knows what's going to happen with it? And then just the unthinkable happened. So this was the scene 7 days ago. This was crazy because it just did not look like it was coming through at all. 7 days, 14 hours, 20 minutes ago was 5,988 backers. Other required 10,000. Of course, that was less than half, but it really did not seem like this thing was going to make it because it was just so slow. There are lots of forecasts online, lots of people predicting, following the pattern of how similar HasLabs have gone. And we're like, it's not looking great. Maybe it'll get that first, maybe it'll fund, and no tears look like they're going to happen. But, and I know there was a lot of people on the various live streams that I've done who were like, this is not happening. It's not going to get done. Save your hopes and dreams for another day because this is a absolute non-starter, no go. And it just seemed like, man, this is such a cool HasLab that we're not going to be able to get. And I was beating the drum like, come on, guys, we still can do it. There's still a hope. Maybe, just maybe, this thing will go through. And then it just felt like every day a little bit more momentum was coming. And I definitely think this is one of those cases like the Macho Man Randy Savage the Macho Man for the WWE Mattel New Generation Arena, where it was like no movement. It just was not coming through. And then we got a reveal of one figure, and it kind of seemed to spark some people to go, hey, I do want this HasLab. I do want to make this happen. So, of course, I'm trying to track down a photo so I can be like, hey, this is what I was talking about. But this, of course, is the one that I'm referring to. And let's pull her up right now for her big close-up moment because I really think that when we got the reveal of this picture of this wasp, is like it changed things because it felt like everything was going really slow. And then when people saw this amazing looking figure done up in her old school original Avengers gear, smiling with Hank. She's not really smiling, but she's looking fierce and ready to go. But her helmet, her head sculpt looks great. And then seeing Hank just chilling there was like, oh, right, we could do that. And people were like, hey, you guys should have included her as a tier anyway. And you guys know for sure I was going, we needed figures as tiers. I didn't care about these face plates, the scroll, the zombie, but whatever. I wanted figures, but at least them showing Wasp in her classic look, I think really kind of got people going, well, maybe I do want to back this after all, since I know at least we're going to get a Wasp. So then let's take a look through the rest of this whole process of this deal. And then, it was today and 12 hours to go. It was looking still a little bit sketchy, but we're now at 7,934, still a long way to go with 12 hours. And it was seeming like, okay, maybe this is going to happen because there was a lot of movement from Friday to Saturday to Sunday and now today where it was like, okay. And maybe around like 2 o'clock, it was starting to get even more optimistic. Like, I think this is actually going to fun. No problem. We're going to see this happen. It's going to be a reality. We're not going to have to go, oh man, this is going to be the biggest what if in the history of Marvel Legends and Hasbro HasLabs. And then it just kept rolling and the momentum continued to roll. And you guys know I was keeping on doing this every time I was doing live streams about it. And you see at 12,290, not only did Hank Giant Man fun, but we even got the faceplate of the zombie. So we've got that covered. And right now it's 11:18 and it's still rolling. 12,600 12,639 backers so far. So maybe this wacky, crazy scroll faceplate is still in the works too. Let's check in with you all and see what you guys thought so far. Afton Child, what's up? Hey, Jeff, do you guys think we're going to get the zombie head? Yep, we got that locked in, no problem. And that was at 9:43 when it was still in doubt. So, yeah, we got that. Kidred, 1998, said, holy cow. Well, I mean, Giant Man is a desirable figure for the Marvel Legends line. It's so funny because looking on social media, looking on Twitter and Instagram, people were like, who cares? He's just a D-list character. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? He is an important fixture to the Marvel Universe. And so many people who I guess weren't going to back it in the first place were like, who cares? He sucks. He's a lousy character. But all the people who thought he was a desirable character did back it. I'm excited for the classic Wasp coming out next year. I think a lot of people are, and I really think that she helped push this thing over because I don't know, maybe it was just we needed to see her before people started backing the project and going, oh, I got this Wasp. I may as well have a massive Giant Man to go alongside her. And whatever it took, right? And just like the Avengers in Endgame, whatever it takes, we got HasLab Giant Man done. ICT Vinny says, congrats to those who backed the project. Opinions on the project were never an issue for me, but I did find it weird that there were people who were actively wishing this project would fail. That was really what was standing out to me over these last couple of days. It just felt like there was, this project sucks. Why does anybody want it? Hasbro is terrible. They're awful. And all this stuff. And I just felt like, there were issues in terms of what they did. I still, to this day, to this hour and minute, think that they missed the lesson from the Engine of Vengeance. We did want figures. We did want them as tiers. It's just the ones that were chosen with the EOV weren't what we wanted. And at least showing Wasp announcing another Giant Man affiliated character, I think would have gone a long way. And maybe Hasbro will take okay, they do want figures. They just need to go alongside them. Because I really would love to see what those numbers were like pre-Wasp reveal. And then, we saw the result. Hank got funded, no problem. But I'm really curious if this was not going to successfully fund if there was no reveal of Wasp. And there were some of y'all who were going, that's a Hail Mary desperation ploy by Hasbro. But yeah, that's what you're supposed to do when your crowdfund project is not selling. You're supposed to do whatever it takes to get it over that finish line to get it funded. And then he says, can't wait to see people's action figures and fire pictures of Giant Man next year. Me too. I can't wait to figure out how I'm going to fit him into the display, how I'm going to shoot photos with this massive Giant Man. I guess he's always going to be hunching over trying to get somebody, but I can't wait for that problem because this is going to be a really fun figure to have in the collection. Daniel goes, what are the odds we see an 18-inch Giant Man Build-A-Figure later in 2024? I think now with the completion, the funding of Giant Man, one thing that I was speculating on the last live stream was, if he doesn't fund, is this going to jeopardize us from getting more giant figures? Because I felt like they got the wrong message from the HasLab not funding last year. Are they going to go, you guys don't want giant figures, so no Goliath 2, 3, no Atlas, no Black Goliath, no whoever else grows really tall, really big. So those of y'all who want a Wasp, you want a Yellow Jacket, 12-inch, 14 inches, they're all off the table. But now I think with this being funded, I think everything's back on the table. I mean, we saw that with the His Tank HasLab. The Joe team said, since there was so much support, we're going to look into doing vehicles and put them out at retail. So they're not just going to be exclusives to Pulse or through HasLab. So I think we're going to see that happen as well through Pulse. Now, hopefully there'll be better quality and not just repaints like that Super Adaptoid that is pretty underwhelming. But I love the fact that this is now open, that, they can take, the Marvel Legends design and marketing team can go, there's a demand for giant figures. We don't have to make them as big as this one. But I think if we make them Pulse exclusives, people will buy them. So they've got hard numbers. They've got cold evidence to show. So hopefully we'll get some more later on down the road. Lost in. We did it, buddy. I funded Giant Man in the first 30 minutes. Value is there, and he's a character that I like. I own lots of the classic Tales to Astonish comics. Love Ant-Man more, but this was a good one. And it's really cool because we got Ant-Man in a really well done figure. But it was just wild. It was just really great to see this really cool version of Ant-Man, to see a massive, tall, giant man coming through. So it's really cool for fans who love those characters. We got a classic Wasp coming as well. We know that Beyond Earth's Mightiest Anniversary series tribute line or whatever to the Avengers is going to continue into 2024. That's great news. So can't wait to see what else comes up. Boston says, I'm glad he funded. Really don't care about the tiers. They're underwhelming anyway. Yeah, I just don't really care about them. For everybody who wants them and that's still in play, I'm really happy for you though. Christopher Rapley says, just put my order in like an hour ago. Nice. Very good. So that's another thing that I think was in play as well. People weren't falling over themselves to hurry up and get this funded. This is what I speculated way back when, before that initial drop of interest where it was just like getting a couple hundred backers each day, where it's like, dude, come on, we got to get this thing rolling. It just felt like people didn't care to fund it midway through, at the 30-day mark, at the 20-day mark, and not even the 10-day mark, because it's like, there's no real incentive. There's no draw. Like, we've got to hurry up and get this funded so we can get to tier 3. And I think, we've seen with other HasLabs where they have multiple, in some cases, 4 tiers, where it's like, yes, let's make that happen so we can get everything that we want with 2, and those tiers being base plates, which really weren't that interesting. It was just kind of like, okay, who cares? But, they're still in play. At least the second one's in play. We're at 12,639. Now it's 12,768 with 33 minutes to go. So I don't know what that means. We're going to get the scroll head, but stranger things have definitely happened with this HasLab. Blake, what's going on? That HasLab clock seems to be going very slowly. Yes, if he were 14 inches, I'd pay the same $200. He's too big for my 6-inch figures, but I'm getting a Wasp. Woohoo! Yes, we are definitely getting a Wasp. And you're getting a Wasp, and you're getting a Wasp, and yep, that is awesome. We are. Blake, let's see here. You were, you post this 1049, 12,054, first tier unlock. This could totally fund to 14,000 in 1 hour. Maybe, maybe not, but it's definitely not a thing of outside the realm of possibility at this rate. MP, jeez, that's crazy. 4,000 plus backers since this afternoon. Yeah. At this rate, at this point, it'd be a slap in the face if they don't include the scroll head. I wonder if this would be something that they would do as a here, guys, to show our support, because you've already paid for this scroll faceplate anyway, because that's factored into the cost. Here you go. So I'm curious. And I wonder if there's a point where they would just go, here you go. We're tossing it in. Now it's at 12,805. So maybe I wonder if there's a point where if it's like 1350 or 13,500 backers, if they'll just toss it in there. I assume if it's just 13,000, they wouldn't. But if it's so close that it would be a tremendous amount of goodwill to just throw it in there as a bonus, I think that would be really cool on their part. It's not like they've done any production pieces for it. So maybe it's still on the table for us. Blake says, not surprised at all. This country has 300 million people, so it could have funded 100,000 plus all today easily. You're absolutely right. Brick and Tire. Evening, everyone. So I don't collect Marvel Legends, and I didn't back Giant Man, but I am legit excited for everyone that wanted this guy. Congrats. Thank you so much. It felt like there was a lot of division in the Marvel Legends community. Mr. Cheeseburger has been saying the Marvel Legends fandom is totally toxic, and it felt a little bit like, ugh, what's happening, guys? I mean, if you don't like it, you don't have to back it. Nobody's going, you gotta back this HasLab, or you're a terrible Marvel Legends collector. It's like, I understand. It's not like it's $1. So, you don't have that money to drop. It's no big deal. If you're not interested in the character, no big deal. My only thing was people who kept going, this is a terrible character. Let me tell you all the reasons why it's a terrible character. Let me tell you why it's a bad value, etc. It's like, dude, it's okay. It's fine if you don't want it. There are people who are interested and do want to support this thing. So let's roll with it. Collect to disconnect. Yo. What's up? The collector says, let's go, 14,000. Ski Raiders in the building. Chink. Yes, we did have Faith collect a disconnect. It got done, and it was seeming odd for a few days. Definitely in that 2 week period, where it's like, I don't know what's happening. Where's all the interest? But that last rally, these last few days, it really turned this thing around. The collector bought two. Well, you got your regular standard giant man, and now you've got at least the zombie faceplate to throw in there too. So you've got all kinds of options now. So you've got a perfect use for your two giant men. Snake Eyes, what's going on? Patrick Wolf Prime, what's up? Hey, Jeff and everyone, congratulations to the Marvel Legends collectors. Yes, we got a big, huge win on this one. It's funny. We got a big win. We had to spend $200. Happy accident. Yo, yo, yo. Congrats. Thank you. What's up, Afton Child? Dr. Z Lions BK. Hey, yo. Joseph Batista. Yeah. Joseph Collier. I think that's how I would say your last name. Let me know if I said it wrong. What's up, Jeff? Glad Giant Man got funded. Doubt we will get the scroll head sculpt, though. Let's see. Where are we now? 12,871. So maybe, I don't know. It's what we got. We're at exactly, at least according to mine, 30 minutes. But for whatever reason, the HasLab clocks a little bit faster. Chimon78. Hey, Brent Dash. What's up? Power Turtle Buster figure reviews. Y'all got y'all Giant Man. Now Stay Puft is needed. We'll see what's going on come Friday with this Ghostbuster HasLab reveal. Let's do Lions BK. We're over 12,500. Charge! Power Turtle Buster figure review says Wasp helped the heck out of that Giant Man. I really think that's true, and I really hope the Hasbro Marvel Legends team understands that figures that go alongside your HasLab with anything, whether it's the Ghost, whether it's the Dragonfly, whether it's whatever's coming down the road for Transformers, Star Wars, Power Rangers, extra figures help. And I know that extra is extra because you've already paid for it, but if you factor in the cost of figures, I don't think collectors are going to go, oh man, this sucks and whatever. Because when I look at these HasLabs and these crowdfunding projects, I'm going, okay, a regular price for a figure now is $25. I'm taking $25 off the cost of this project, which means if it's $200, I'm going cool. Or if it's a $200 HasLab, I'm going, all right, now it's taking it down to $175 because that takes away that money from the one figure that's included as part of the tier. So that's how I look at it. So I'm like, all right, Giant Man is $175. He's not $200. That's where that's how I break down the prices of these things. And it's like, cool. Well, like for that WWE New Generation arena, I was going, all right, 3 Ultimate Edition figures are $60. The ring then is, whatever price. And then your LED was about $60. So, I mean, it felt like a good value when I broke it all down like that. I think that's how collectors look at these crowdfund projects, where it's like, yeah, this is all part of the price, and these tiers factor in and help lower the cost of the overall price of the project. Snake Eyes, we got the zombie head, but do we get brains? Collect a disconnect. I'm still hoping for it. Thank you, fans, for your amazing support. We're throwing in a yellow jacket as well. That's absolutely not going to happen. That'd be awesome, but I would love to see maybe as soon as this Friday a yellow jacket render, because I'm so tired of my early Hasbro Marvel Legends phase yellow jacket. He's just such a janky, terrible looking figure at this point. I mean, the joints are so bad, the articulations woeful, awful. I think if they took the wings, those are really good from that original figure, but that's the only thing I would take, and they could just recycle those and put him on a brand new body, or one of these existing ones that are really good. I think, not the parachute, maybe not even the Vulcan body. Trying to think that medium Spider-Man, Daredevil body. I think that will work just fine for him. But yeah, I'm down for anything whenever we get this yellow jacket, so long as I can replace that old one. Miguel Perez, what's going on? Do you think they planned more cheers after the scroll head if it gotten that far? If so, what do you think they were? They really seem just to cap it. And I don't think they've ever done an extra tier, especially in this era where they've revealed the tiers early on. Like, I mean, the G.I. Joe one for sure. We were like, yo, let's get some more tiers. We've already got it knocked out. I mean, we saw that with the His Tank too, where they showed everything they were going to show, and that was it. I was like, well, you guys have funded everything so early in advance. Can you throw in a new one? And if they were going to, with any HasLab project, it would be G.I. Joe, it would be Transformers. Since they didn't, I don't think we would ever really assume that they would show something that they didn't. Now, they may reconfigure the order and go, it's not selling the way they want. We're going to put this in as a tier, as an early thing and not part of the tier. We're just going to include it with the base package. But I don't think they had anything else planned. Of course, that would have been great to see some more figures. But yeah, I don't think they had that in store for us at all. Ryan, at 13,000, I hope we get Mephisto. Ocean Views 888. Wish we got the Skrull head before the zombie. I kind of feel like that would have made more sense just because the zombie one doesn't really play with the figures they've done so much as the Skrull, of course, would work with the Skrulls that we've gotten because we have kind of like a base classic Skrull setup, whereas none of the zombies that we've gotten so far go along with this giant man zombie figure. So he's at 12,958 with 24 minutes to go. I mean, I almost feel like this still could happen. So don't give up hope just yet. Jason Lyles, what's up, bro? That was a big surge from 2 p.m. It was. My brother texted me and was like, do you think it's going to fund? And I was like, I hope so. But, it was funny because then I started texting him like, I think it's coming. It's under 500 now. And then it was like, wow. So it did fun, bro. And maybe we'll talk about it a little bit on Wednesday on Lyles Movie Files. After actually, I'm so happy we got the zombie head. Are you backing it? X. Hey, Jeff, new to the channel. Welcome aboard. Hopefully this won't be the last time you comment on here. Glad to see you. Let's put a smile on my face after my very emotional weekend. I hope everything from the weekend is worked out. I mean, I know how it is when stuff gets hectic and stressful in life. Definitely want to make Lyles Figure Files a nice, enjoyable place where we can hang out, talk about figures, and have some fun. So pull up a chair, grab some water, your favorite beverage of choice. Let's have a good time tonight. Power Turtle Buster Figure Review says a Megazord would be nice, even if it doesn't transform. Maybe so. I'm really curious to see what happens. Tom Finn 2018. I backed it as soon as I saw the Wasp. I need to screenshot this and send it along to the Marvel Legends team. Like, see, this is why I was saying all this. This is why I was talking about all the figures that should be included with the tiers. People want to see just something that goes along with it. Like, oh, cool. Just like the Heralds with Galactus, like the Sentinels that were included with the Sentinel. It just makes sense to throw in those figures that go alongside your thing. I mean, I thought it was kind of shady that we didn't get all the members of the Ghost crew. I still think that was weird. We didn't get Sabine, we didn't get Chopper. But the fact that you could get most of them and have the cool card back, that was a really nice incentive. And of course, if you get one, you're going to be like, yo, listen, you have some passing interest in this thing. I need you to back it too. And I think that's one of those cases where you see more peer pressure / encouragement. Encouragement, yes, to go ahead and back something like that because people would really want to be all up on it and make it happen. So, yeah, let's see. Emmanuel, listen, I am right there with you. Good gosh, that was awful. I mean, Kurt, I can't play on any primetime showcase, dicing this up for 5,000 yards. The worst. I'm so glad I had Giant Man to fall back on because that performance just dashed all my Super Bowl hopes. I'm just going to have to find some enjoyments in the wins we get the rest of the season. And at least we beat Dallas. After how my Niners played today, Giant Man getting funded makes me feel a bit better. I'm absolutely with you. Kwame Taylor, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat, my friend. I vote to get rid of HasLabs. Collectors don't appreciate the program. It's funny because I feel like, we saw with the Ghost, we saw with the Dragonfly, the His Tank, we saw whatever, I think it was Deathsaurus on the Transformer side. If it's something collectors want, they'll back it pretty much enthusiastically. I felt like with the Dragonfly, it was just more, why isn't Doc? Why isn't Doc a tier? Why isn't Airborne a tier? That would make more sense. Who the heck is Glinda? But in the end, it got funded all the way through with Night Force Ripcord and Crazy Legs and Glinda with plenty of time to spare. And the Ghost, it was really slow for a period, and then it just soared right through every expectation to the point it was like, y'all really could have done extra tiers of Sabine and Chopper and made it work. All right, so now with 20 minutes to go, this is where he is. He is 13,025 with 20 minutes to go. I don't know. This could come right down to the wire. So I'm kind of glad I'm doing a countdown at this point. I mean, this could still happen here. So let's if you care, cross your fingers to get this scroll faceplate. Lefty Two Lions BK with the pun of the night so far. Giant Man outgrew expectations. Yes, love puns. They're the best. B-Boz 28, what's going on? I'm wondering why we haven't seen any of the physical giant men standing on their own. For example, the New York Comic Con giant man was on a stand. All the pictures Dwight showed, he's not standing. I thought he was. And I thought Shooting the Galaxy had pictures with him kind of. Let's see here. There we go. Oops. There we go. I found him. And his Twitter profile page. There we go. Let's see. I mean, far be it for me to suggest what we're getting with these pictures, but it looks pretty close to the year. Like he is, there we go, standing up, doing a thing, putting him down into the ground with that crappy super adaptoid. And here's another one that we saw standing up with the Sentinel. And I'm trying to see if this one had the stand to it as well. Cool cosplay. But I mean, I'm really excited about this. We get to see this dude in action. Doesn't look like there are any others. That is the creepy face I'm probably never going to put on mine. But yeah, I mean, this one I think is really just a cool picture to show exactly how this bad boy is going to look. I mean, I love this figure back in the day. I mean, if we were not going to get this amazing figure, I'd have been like, oh, okay, he's solid, he's decent. I mean, but getting this guy, that's incredible and such a huge upgrade. And seeing him next to this Ant-Man is like, this is going to be so fun to have this, to be able to do those classic Avengers covers, having him in the background and Cap leading the way, Iron Man and Thor in the distance, and then Submariner like this. And we get the big fight between the Avengers and Hulk and Submariner. Going to be so much fun. I cannot wait to shoot this guy with the rest of the crew. Going to be so much fun. Jamelin Park says, first of all, I think the Wasp helped, but I bet a lot of people were waiting until the last minute to try to prove a point and to see what else we would get. I am very curious about that as well, but they did say very early on, it was no illusion, no confusion. They said there is nothing else coming. And I guess showing Wasp was the best next thing, or is the next best thing. It's like, listen, here's what you're going to get with her. And it was funny because it seemed like they were teasing some more figures, and I guess Wasp was enough. And maybe they were just able to go, here are the tea leaves, and this will work. She's going to help make this thing fun. So we don't have to show Yellow Jacket, but maybe they were still holding up something in their back pocket for the 1027 Pulse reveals, although it doesn't make a ton of sense if it didn't fund him, because I think there would have been mass outrage and people would have been like, seriously guys, you could have shown this Yellow Jacket figure before it didn't fund, and now we're all upset with you. Now they can do a victory lap and go, thanks everyone for finding this. We've got a Yellow Jacket coming up soon. Collect to disconnect. I'm back within the first 5 minutes of the live stream reveal. I don't think it was seriously going to fund. I'm going to change my address at my mother's house because I'm moving next year. Yeah, make sure you get that done, my friend. Kelly Cox, congratulations, Jeff. I'm glad you got your giant man. Thank you, because you guys know after Galactus, I was shooting videos going, listen, we need the HasLab Giant Man next. And here's all the reasons why he'd be such a great HasLab. He's here, he's funded, and I can rest easy now that my main HasLab want is now accomplished. He's going to be in my collection next year, and I can start figuring out some ones to predict and hope for future HasLabs. If you guys can tell me some ideas what you want to see. Snake Eyes, I can sleep tonight because the Giant Man is funded. Absolutely. Jamelin. Second, Wasp was not a last-minute decision. That photo of a painted articulated figure means that she had been in development for months. Ray Ortiz is bringing it. I back 3. Man, I really hope for your sake, Ray, that we do get this last faceplate so you can have all this done. Now, Giant Man is clocking in at 13,121 with 15 minutes to go. We'll see what happens. It's getting slim now for everybody who wants that faceplate, but I almost feel like Hasbro should, because they're in the business of giving things away for free. Throw in a scroll faceplate, just be like, hey, you all back this thing and you support it, and we're gonna do a solid. Because I definitely want to explore and look at I don't want to say the lack of love, but just the division among the Marvel Legends fans and how it was so disruptive. And I guess just there's so much distrust that's gone on with the Marvel Legends brand where people are like, I'm not a part of it, I'm not down with Marvel Legends. And it's just weird because I felt like they've done some really good figures in this last 2-3 years, some of which have been my favorite Marvel Legends that they've done, period, from Toy Biz to the Hasbro era. So I'm just curious why people have kind of fallen out of favor with Marvel Legends to the degree where it's like, I don't want to back anything. Y'all have screwed this lineup so much. I'm out. So we'll figure it out later on this week. Blake, I sadly don't think this opens the door for more tall figures that aren't 80% reuse. Hasbro is cheap when it comes to 100% new mold, tooling, etc. And an 18-inch bath means changing up the packaging. I definitely don't think we're going to see those as Build-A-Figures anymore, but I'm thinking more Pulse exclusives where they don't have to worry about, they use these ridiculously oversized boxes anyway. So what I'm thinking is they'll put the resources to a blank or relatively blank giant scale body, maybe 14 to 18 inches, one where they could just do a straight up easy to replicate over and over and over again mold where they can just throw it out and be like, bam, here you go. Oops. I said Marvel Legends, which we don't have. Let's try this again. So we go look into the old Google and show what I'm talking about. So we can definitely get this. This is a really easy, let's try this so you guys can actually see a better size of Goliath 3, Eric Dawson. So we can get him. He's a really easy repaint off of the original version of Goliath, which, there we go. Let's pull him up so we can see a little bit easier and clearer. So this is one. It's a really blank body. You can do an overlay with his belt with the jewel pieces there, but this is as blank as you can get for a 14 to 18 inch figure. Then you can go back and you can maybe Black Goliath's gonna be a little bit harder, but I think you can still incorporate most of those parts and have him done as well. So you do him as another relatively blank body if we're willing to sacrifice things. This actually doesn't look like it's sculpted anyway. It looks like spandex. They get away with painting that and then just do these 3 little circle straps across the chest, add in a new belt, flared gloves and boots, and then he's relatively more work than some of these other Goliaths, but I think that would work and be something that they could do without too much trouble. And let me see. I'm trying to find the Clint Barton version so we can throw him in this mix too. And just to go, hey, here's another one. Bam, here's that. And I think if you looked at this, you could reuse that belt here. So whichever one you want to do first, reuse the belt, the boots. So they're not quite the same, but I think you can get away with it with reuse. Gauntlets. And then this harness is basically the only thing you have to worry about. And of course, the headpiece, which you could then reuse for another Hank Pym version from when he was part of the Avengers, back when he came back. Let's see, Hank Pym purple Goliath. There we go. I think we can find one. There we go. So we've got this option. And this is back in the George Perez, Mark Bagley run of Avengers when they're facing off with Count Nefaria, who we still need to figure out. So there you go. That's a really easy one to repaint. Either way, you could start off with the Clint Barton version and then just here's a quick and dirty and easy repaint of Hank Pym in this purple Goliath attire. So you've got a lot of options for 14 to 18 inch taller figures with a relatively basic blank buck. You just add in the Goliath harnesses, the chest strap pieces for Black Goliath, and the belt with the jewels for regular Goliath. And that's pretty much five. Atlas would take a little bit more sculpting, but I think if you did those other ones first, I think it will work out and be just fine. Casanova Frankenstein, we did do it. I mean, I feel like we should take a victory lap, bro. I mean, it just feels like, yes, we accomplished this. We made it happen. Mr. Cheeseburger. Marvel Legends fans had a chance to tell big corporations that they can't take advantage of you. You had a chance to say, no more crowdfunding by billionaires. Instead, you supported something you like. Great job. It was a big win. Everyone's happy. And yeah, it just worked out very well for all of us here. Power Turtle Buster figure reviews. Watts isn't a part of the HasLab. Why everyone sound like it's a tier? She's absolutely not a tier. She's not from it at all. And it's just one of those things where I think everyone, including myself, think that she really helped to get this thing rolling. 9 minutes to go now, the final countdown, and we're under 10 minutes, 13,258. So those of you who wanted that scroll faceplate, I think you might be disappointed. Don't think it's in the cards this time, but at least you got the zombie faceplate. And more importantly, we got Giant Man all funded and backed. Psych 68 says, wow, to think that Wasp reveal moved like 5,000 undecideds off the fence to back it. But this sure looked dead in the water less than a week ago. If it wasn't Wasp, what the heck were people holding out on? I don't know. I really think that, when you think of the Avengers, you think of that classic lineup, you think of Iron Man, and we've got him from the 20th anniversary version. We've got a really great classic Thor from the 80th anniversary of Marvel. We've got a pretty solid, pretty much in line Captain America from the Marvel Legends 20th anniversary. Giant Man was really the only one missing, but if we weren't going to get a Wasp and her classic look to go alongside these guys, there's so many Avengers classic covers that we weren't going to be able to do. And I think that really kind of made people go, whatever, I don't want this thing. I'm not down for it. I'm not backing. I'm not supporting this thing whatsoever. But now we can make this happen because you can actually do this cover. And I know, this Giant Man is the same. Giant Man changes look basically every issue back in those days, but we can do this now. And I just think that is so cool to be able to do this. And we get Wasp right here. And we got the whole original Avengers if you ignore Hulk's 2-issue stint with the team. And being able to do that, I think really helped push it and move this thing along. And I'm really surprised they didn't have Shooting the Galaxy do that homage shot. I think that would really move more units where we see Giant Man, Thor, Iron Man, Wasp hanging out there. And then throw it in Namor, just be like, bam, here you go. So I don't know why they didn't do that. I feel like they could have done a few more photos to get people more invested and interested earlier. But, whatever, it got done. Mr. Chino, the shoe collector. Did you back Giant Man? Absolutely. First day I backed him. I mean, I've been talking for over a year why we needed a HasLab Giant Man. That'd be crazy for me to see all this stuff on this platform, talking into this mic, and then going, sorry, guys, I set this one up. No, for sure, I absolutely did. I thought I would be within that first half hour, like Lost and some of the others, but no, I was so far into the backer count. I was like, whoa, okay, this thing made fun today, but it was a totally different story. Yeah, I wish I could, but I'll get it on the secondhand market. I wonder if they factored in secondary sellers like Big Bad Toy Store, and maybe those will take it over. So we will see that scroll faceplate inserted in as well. 6 minutes to go. We're at 13,362. So no real miracles unless they're about to start tallying up all those international sales or whatever else. We'll see. Ren Rock 80s rants and real talk says, what up though? Glad it funded. Now all we need is a living eraser figure. Blake, this HasLab was an early birthday present for you, Jeff. Nice, exactly, because my Niners dropped the ball so spectacularly. I mean, they put up the Vikings put up 1,000,000 yards, I think it was. It was 998,000, but it was way too many yards. And these guys, Us Marvel Legends fans, you guys helped me have an early birthday present. And of course, I'll be back on the HasLab or Hasbro 1027 reveal. So we'll see what happens if we get some more birthday presents. Mr. Cheeseburger, I'm really glad for the fans who supported what they wanted, didn't listen to the haters, and bought something you wanted. Despite my personal feelings about the fandom, I'm glad you supported. Absolutely. Brigantire. I feel like there's always going to be a segment of fandom that talks smack on HasLab. The only ones I back are G.I. Joe. And there are people that wanted the Dragonfly to fail too. That's crazy. I mean, the Dragonfly to me was just as essential a vehicle as his tank. It's like if you're going to do HasLabs, if you're going to do these vehicles, I mean, what do you start off with his tank and the Dragonfly? So hopefully this means we'll get more. And I'm really excited to get some more news about the Vamp, maybe as soon as this Friday. Now, guys, there's a very strong rumor that we're going to see. I guess it's not really a rumor because Hasbro themselves has been pushing this thing and going, hey, we're going to have a big reveal. And I don't know if you can say it's even like a tease. I mean, it pretty much is like, hey, we've got a Ghostbuster theme project coming, and it would seem like it's going to be a HasLab. The Iron Saber. I think it's unfair to ask for the scroll head now. We didn't get to 14,000. That's not Hasbro's fault. It's ours. I don't care about the scroll faceplate. I was just saying for everybody who wants it, maybe they throw it in as an extra bonus. But for me, I'm perfectly fine getting Giant Man. Phantasm Wolves. It's been a while. I want to let you know that I've recently got 4 Power Town figures. Luthez, Carey, Bruiser, and Hanson. Can't wait to see the news for Series 2. Me too. I feel like we've been waiting a long time for them. Power Turtle Buster figure review says figures as tiers shouldn't be a thing. They did right with Wasp. Let folks know you can get this figure, but this HasLab goes with the figure. So you don't have to buy now, but will in the future. I think we're going to end with 14,256. Maybe not. But the important news is with 5 minutes on my clock, but that may be different because Marvel's the HasLab clock seems to be way different than mine. 13,456. And it's crazy because it's really surged with a lot more buyers and backers in the last few minutes. I mean, it just kind of hit 13,000. This is really interesting. It's getting to that halfway part where I was like, well, maybe they just throw it in at 13.5, but we'll see. Quammen says it's a little counterintuitive to ask for figures in the tiers and complain about paywall figures and higher pricings. Catch 22. Well, I mean, like I said, I always factor the price of figures, their regular cost if I bought them in retail. So I don't complain about the price of, I don't complain about the figures. I just factor them into the overall price of the HasLabs or crowdfund. It's like, yeah, this thing that you're saying is 150, but you put in 2 figures, now it's 200. Yeah, it's 150, but the figures are costing that extra 50. Excuse me. Power Turtle Buster figure reviews. I hate with a passion the Toy Biz Legends hip ball joints. They get very tricky to maneuver, and I'm less confident as I move my older ones. It's like, okay, I'm not going to break you by posing you, am I? As I'm doing more of these comparisons with the Toy Biz versus the Hasbro ones that have recently come out, just to do a comparison, it's like, hold together while I shoot this review. So I do know exactly what you mean. Lawson, we got it funded, Jeffrey. So glad. Me too, buddy. It was a long journey, but we did make it happen, and it came together, and it is knocked out. We got the big win. Not excited about the zombie head. It'll make a very ugly paperweight in my house if we get it. Don't care for it. As an artist, no for zombie stuff. Don't need more undead in my life. Dean Anthony says, since the zombie head's funded, maybe this will get us comic book zombie figures in the future. I wonder about that. That would make more sense than just the MCU versions that we have right now. Let's see here. Where are we with this funding? Because it's rolling with every possible minute now. All right, well, geez, it is really, really rolling. With 1 minute left, it's at 13,560 backers. Will there be more backers in this final minute to get to 14,000? That is crazy. It feels like it's really rolling to the point that it could possibly happen. Let's see. I'll check back in another minute to see what's going on. Ryan, stepping aside from the Giant Man for a second, did you see the Black Series Balin and Shin are the same height, despite a 6-inch height difference? No, I did not. That's terrible, Ryan. That's actually disappointing news. I wonder, is Shin too tall or is Balin too short? I got to figure out a way to fix that because that's not good. Ocean Views 88, is the zombie head comic accurate? I believe there is a panel with a zombie version. Okay, so here we are. We're actually done. Let's take a look to see what the final number was. 13,574 backers. Congratulations. We made it happen, guys. And while we did not get our scroll head that those of you, some of you all wanted, we did get Giant Man fully funded. We did get the zombie faceplate. So we've got 2 of the 3 possible options. All around hugs for everybody. We made it happen. Congratulations. It worked out. Call the disconnect. That's pretty sure it's because the scroll head is a whole separate head and the zombie's just faceplate. That's why it's last, because it'll cost more to produce and takes up more space in the box. Adrian SMR, the scroll head has been funded. Well, not yet. Yeah, it didn't get done. Lawson was worried about this one, but I held out hope because the quality is there and the price is right. The Wasp also added to my hopes. Tom Finn, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the same fans who were openly critical of different aspects of this HasLab also helped to fund it. Criticizing the line and supporting the line are not mutually exclusive. Hopefully not. Because I feel like, you offer genuine, worthwhile support and criticism, that's useful to hopefully help them later on down the road, but definitely don't want to hear all the doom and gloom without any, positive or constructive feedback that the team can then use for future, projects. Mr. Cheeseburgers. So Marvel Legends fans okay with figures behind the HasLab paywall, or does this mark another shift in the way people think about HasLabs? Ocean Views. If you made an Ant-Man wave, who would be in it and what would be your bath? Well, Giant Man, 6-inch version. Another version of Wasp, pick a costume, maybe Secret Wars. Let's see, who are some more Ant-Man specific villains? There are lots of ones that I could throw in. Maybe some Serpent Society members tie into the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Callisto, throw them in there. So I should probably add another ally, maybe to help finish out the Champions team. I do Nadia, that version of the Wasp, just because they've gotten so many of those characters and that team done. Maybe this is where I would throw in Jarvis. And I remember 5 or 6. I think that was enough. And then let's see. I feel like I should use this. Take advantage. Oh, I do a Moon Knight Esperator Firebrand. I would put her in there because she's another West Coast Avengers team member, and she could rock in there. She get more of that sculpting budget. For my Build-A-Figure, I would go with a 12-inch size. Jimmy Monsalve. Man, I'm so proud of the community for backing this. It looked pessimistic this morning, but we came through. First time visiting the channel. I'm here until the end of the campaign. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Ski Raider, they need to pick the correct figures to package with the HasLab package. Fan understanding helps with this. Watch Jeffrey. Thank you. Which Ultron figures did he have split in half on the HasLab page? Let me take a look one more time. I think this is the newer one that they did. Or is it? I think, let me do this so you guys know where I'm scrolling and trying to debate on. This is I think this is the newer one, the one that just came out as part of that, the Quantum Mania wave. But let me just make sure so I can tell you correctly without speculating incorrectly. Nobody wants to see somebody online do that kind of stuff, right? All right, let's see. Actually, I think this is the old one. So let's see. Maybe you guys can help me decide. This is the version here in this, and I assume it's the same one that he splits into. This looks like the old one, not the modern one that they just put out. Let's see. Yeah, this is the new one from the Quantum Mania wave, and he doesn't have all those notches in the helmet. So that would be the original one, or not the original one, the one we got. Now, of course, I don't remember that wave, but the previous one. Let's see if I can pull that up. Easier way. Very quickly. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to remember what the heck that Build-A-Figure wave was. That was the Ultron from the Build-A-Figure Ursa Major wave. So it's a couple days old now, but I think it's that one. Lawson, Giant Man smiling faceplate without the mask looks like Craig Ferguson. I do see that. Bro B1 Kenobi. I didn't back Giant Man, but I'm very excited for everyone who is getting it. I may pull the trigger before it's all said and done, though. So let's see. You posted that at 11:41. Let me know if you did do that. So we'd be very curious to see if there were super last minute people who got it and if it bumped the numbers up at all. Now, I think at last look, it was at 13,574. Oh, wow. So that's interesting. The numbers have bumped up a little bit more, and to the point where it's really, really close to getting that scroll faceplate. It's 13,876 backers. That's wild. So let me pull out my fuzzy math real fast. Okay, whoops. There we go. Let's try that one more time. All right, so then let's do this. 14 minus 13,876. The scroll faceplate was 124 away from getting completed. That's crazy considering how far away those tiers were. I mean, it was a long way away from getting Giant Man funded, but now 124 is wild. So I wonder they're still calculating and with a small difference, like the numbers, like the polls. Let's see here. There's still numbers being tabulated, and if they'll actually get to 124. Do we demand a recount to see if we actually have 14,000 backers for this thing? My Giant Man is for sure taking a knee in my collection or ground pound pose. Yeah, he's going to have to because I don't have enough shells to have him standing tall. But wow, it's crazy. Psych 68. They may as well stop the clock while backers are still rolling in. I know it's not in the spirit of HasLab, but it's an arbitrary cutoff and just bad business to turn money away. I do kind of feel like that is an interesting question that you raised because when it said it was funded, it was at 13.5, and now it's at 13.8. So really interesting. Maximum Max. I'm pretty sure it'll be a Giant Man wave sometime next year to complement this figure. 15 minutes to get 900 more backers for the Scrollhead Blade. So you did that at 11:43, and now it's 124. Maybe they're still calculating these numbers. I'm gonna have to keep checking because it was when it said it was done and over, it was a lot less, like 300. So I did 1876. So let's see. Maybe it's done now. Lawson says demand a HasLab for 1,500 figures in the Marvel Universe have never seen a figure yet. Inquire about a payment plan. Daniel, what's up, Jeff? How are you? I'm doing awesome, my brother. Hope you're good. Sorry I'm late. I'm not going to be able to back the HasLab as much as I want. Family situations lately, but I'm happy for those who really want Giant Man. Well, I'm sure there are going to be options to get this Giant Man later down the road. Might be a few more dollars, but there's probably some options. Maybe take a look at Big Bad Toy Store. So if your situation changes this time next year, hopefully they do, especially if you got family situations. I know how those are. So maybe you got option later on. So don't give up hope yet. Jimmy, come on, Scrollhead. Honestly, don't care for the tiers, but since I backed it, why not ask for the additional phases? I mean, I kind of feel like at this point, it was really so close that, geez, this was really so close. I feel like they could throw it in. Great man, I think after getting spoiled by G.I. Joe, people expect more from Marvel Legends. I think that is somewhat true. I think people are kind of also going, well, if they can do that work, why don't we get this work from Marvel Legends? And of course, it's because G.I. Joe is a Hasbro license, and they don't have to pay any licensing fees to G.I. Joe. They can just keep it all in-house, but they do have to give some of those dollars off to Marvel/Disney. But we'll see. Happy accident. I think there's just a lot of competition. There's a lot of new companies stepping up and making cool stuff. And after getting your 5th Cyclops, these new figures are enticing. Yeah. Green Man, my standard is that spiral, because dang. Lawson says, give me an ironclad Build-A-Figure and a UFOs wave. I'd take that. Maybe even just a box set. Mr. Cheeseburger. First, I thought that, but Marvel Legends has been online since 2008. The YouTubers just discovered hating on Hasbro is the only way to get attention to the lines they support. Richards, well, hopefully, I'm not one of those, because I am like super passionate. There's still a gazillion more Marvel Legends I want from Hasbro's. Excuse me. So hopefully we'll still see some more coming through. Lawson, I really want Black Goliath. He was a childhood favorite of mine. I collected Marvel 2-in-1, and he was one of Ben's buds. Yeah, man, exactly. VLR Sierra 117, apart from me really wanting this, it's also exciting knowing that they mentioned that now that they have most of the tooling done to retool him for other giant characters. I did not see that. That's good news. With most of the tooling costs out of the way, I'd hope for some $100, $150 Pulse exclusives. That'd be fantastic. It really would be. So now that the gears rolling about which one will be next. Chris, I wonder if in the future we'll get a smaller scale Giant Man figure so that we can display him with a growing effect. That would be cool, and I hope to see that too. SlasherCon 742 needed for the scroll head now. Yeah, man, this was 1150, and it was so close. T'Challa Moro. I can't wait to see what figures in the upcoming complimentary wave that accommodates the Giant Man HasLab. Yeah. All right, here we go. Here you got Ryan says Ant-Man wave, Ant-Man Hank with mini Wasp, red yellow costume with mini Wasp, yellow jacket, Plant Man. That'd be a good character to throw in there. Absorbent Man redo, Titania, and Porcupine. Build-A-Figure 12-inch Goliath. Hey, take them all. I would buy that wave, Ryan. Let's make it happen. Hurricane Live. I need Alien Face though. I'm very interested to see what they're gonna do. I mean, I know by the now it's gone up some more. It's still going apparently, and now that number is even less. I just did another refresh, and now it's at 13,889. I kind of thought this was over the East Coast time, but these numbers are still rolling in, and as these numbers continue to roll in, I don't know what's happening exactly, but we're still seeing some more people coming through here with this. So I don't know. Maybe there's a really good chance now. It's only 111 away, so maybe it'll happen. Still looking like it's a possibility. Classic Wasp only come with the cone head. They didn't say. Maybe this Friday we'll see like her with the full accessory rollout. I guess it's still too early for them to show everything, but maybe this is an opportunity for us as a community to go, hey, it would be really awesome if you guys also included a non-cone head as another alternate head. You guys don't do that often enough, but this would be a great opportunity for that. Fiyama 98. I really want that scroll head, but I've seen reports of orders not processing in the last half hour, which seems to be keeping the numbers from climbing as high as they should. Well, it looks like they're being accommodated. So, at this point, it just seems like they're still getting tabulated, and maybe they will. I just refreshed a couple times. It's still at 13,889, but it did definitely keep rolling just a while ago. Henry G, I'm doing awesome, man. How about you? Christopher Bennett says if we hit 14,000, it's going to be a photo finish. I mean, it looks like these numbers are still tabulating and rolling in, which is very interesting because, most of the time they're done. They're completely funded by the time it's over, and it's just kind of like, okay, cool. That's how much it made. The thing with the Ghost, it was so far ahead of the final tier that it was like there's no suspense. It was just like, hey, that's really interesting. That's where it finished. But with this one, it's kind of like, let's see how these orders keep rolling in over the next few minutes, hour, because it seems like it could actually get to 14,000 at this rate. The scroll isn't a faceplate. It's a completely separate head. Thank you. I've been trying to figure that out. People have been going, the separate heads, they're not separate heads, they're faceplates. Thank you. Chris, okay, let's say we don't get the scroll head sculpt this time around. Do you think that they will give it to us in the future? Chris, I feel like this is so ridiculously close that we did pay for it. It's not like this thing of You guys didn't pay for the scroll piece that was factored into the cost of Giant Man, as they explained when they said if you want more figures, this is just going to cost more. So the scroll head is included and factored into the price of Giant Man. Maybe here's something, just a wild thought. They do 13,889 scroll hits because that's what people bought it for, and it's just a difference of 111 backers. So I almost feel like if 13,889 people supported it, you just throw in. I mean, how much would it cost to not account for those 111? I mean, they could probably keep a couple Giant Man HasLabs in the warehouse and sell them later and recoup that money. I don't know. I feel like they could do it at this point. Sheikh Zula. Sheikh Zula said, I waited until the end because it was fun to watch. It really was. It was right there to the end on us. Henry G, my birthday is Thursday. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you. Mine's on Friday. So, to my fellow Scorpio brother up in this house, happy birthday. Jamelin, I hear that Marvel Legends has a new legendary writer coming up. Hoo, hoo, hoo. You can DM me if you don't want to say it out here. Tony Rios, meh. It's only because I wanted the character, but I'm falling out of love with Marvel Legends. I don't see ever getting one at this scale, so I pulled the trigger, but this was a reluctant buy. Well, whichever way, Tony, I appreciate you backing it. You helped us get there to the point where we almost got all the tiers, and most importantly, got Giant Man funded. Power Turtle Buster Figure Review says, people have been trying to figure out what the Ghostbusters thing is. I pointed out to people that the behind the scenes video has a working slime blower. I think it's going to be a slime blower. Oh, no, that's really interesting. One of my buddies, I told you guys before, big into Ghostbuster cosplay. I think he would probably dig that. Chris, only 500 backers away. Let me see. That was 11:55. So that was a huge gap into the. All right, so I've refreshed a couple more times. It's staying at 13,889. So maybe all the backings have been calculated now. We'll see. Lumbo Musician, Giant Man, we made it. We did. Very happy with that agreement, but I'm okay with Hasbro, even with the prices. Can't blame them that much for that since everything is up. G.I. Joe is a better line now. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you for sure. And in terms of ranking the Hasbro lines, it's still G.I. Joe. Easily number one. Marvel Legends, despite the up and downs, the shakiness sometimes with the execution of figures, that ridiculous height scale of Molecule Man being a shining example. But then we get good figures like that Doctor Doom and Captain Marvel 2-pack where it's like, you guys got it. You nailed it. Thank you. And, just other good figures we've seen throughout the year. I mean, that Iron Man Model 1, really strong figure. So they keep doing enough to keep me invested and really into the line. I just still kind of wish they would fix up some of these problems, like these unwanted costume choices for some of these guys. I still don't understand why we got some of these. Slasher Khan says, FOMO backers most likely. Christopher Bennett, they're ending in 59, not midnight. That's why it seems up. Yeah, because I was like, what's going on? I feel like I have more time than what they've got going, and it's just, wow. Slasher Khan, I really wanted a Giant Man for my Avengers display, so this will do. It absolutely will do. It's going to be a really cool figure, and I think that you're going to be really happy with it because I got the Toy Biz one, and I'm definitely not selling him. I'm keeping him in the Toy Biz retired collection display where I have all my cool figures that have been updated by Hasbro, in some cases Mattel, and just going to be the shelf of honor, for my old figures that are no longer in the main display. Jane went, dang, so close to that scroll. I didn't really care about that much either. I didn't really care that much about either tier, but I'll take any extras you want to give. Yeah. Chris, dang, I don't think we're going to get the scroll head. It's so close, right? Slasher God, come on, Hasbro, extended a couple more minutes. 0 minutes. Hey, Slasher God, are you a fan of The Last Boy Scout by any chance? Because when I read that, that's what came to mind. So let me know if you're down with that movie. No! Now I've got Darth Vader doing that. Dang, I wanted the scroll head. Christopher Bennett says 13,603 is the number now. And that was at 11:59. Let's see if it's back. Okay, it's stopped at 13,889. I'm very curious. I want to go into X and see if Dan or any Ryan or any of the guys are talking about it. Cool. Let's see here. So Dan just tweeted 3 minutes ago. Honestly, just very grateful to the team behind the scenes was part of this HasLab project, and so grateful to all the backers. I'm so tired. LOL. But to the supporters again, thank you sincerely. Okay. Let's see. I'm okay. So it didn't look like there's any other news on that front, but just curious about that. Still happy about the Giant Man though. Yep. Jamelin at 11:59 says it looks like you can still order. Now it's definitely gone past that on my end. So it's a couple minutes since then when you posted that. Iron Master, I couldn't believe it when they said that the last minute backers would come, and they really did. And Christopher Bennett, the number's still going up. Yeah. Kane, 2099. Did it reach 4,000K? Not quite, but it's so close that it's just kind of like, man, I wonder if there's still some numbers being calculated. And Chris, you posted this at midnight. 13,639 is the final number. And then it jumped to like another 200 and what is it, 60? No, 250. Jeez. Wow, that's crazy. It's now sold out. The numbers are still going up. Oh, someone backed out, man. I think we got them covered and then some. T'Challa Mora, hope we get Goliath and Bill Foster in 12-inch form as well as their 6-inch form. That would be really cool. I'm surprised that we got Black Goliath in 6-inch form from the MCU. What if before we got him in Marvel Comics version? But I had to take it, I guess, right? Slashcon Porcupine is a silly villain that would look cool in figure form. There's so many great villains that are goofy looking but are cool to get in figure form. So yeah, done. But keeps jumping up. LOL. Ski Raider. I'm still trying to figure out what happened. CCP Toys. Yo. It's like 16. Whoa. Big jump. Exactly. How does the payment work? Says Mason Carroll. All right. Well, this is one thing I think they really need to do a better job throughout the process, throughout the course of these HasLabs. So right now, let's see here. I mean, they do put it on the website, but I feel like they need to do a better job throughout the period. So, let's see here. I think the information on how the funding works is gone because it's closed and you can't order it. But basically, you'll be charged tomorrow, or no, wait. I think what they'll do is they'll give you like a little, like, hey, you want to cancel this thing, if you want to back out, you have like a few days or something. I think because I mean I got this email with Galactus. I got this from what's his face from the Dragonfly. Okay. Well, I just got an email that my recent payment for Marvel Legends HasLab Giant Man was successful. Your collection is about to get a major upgrade, so maybe they charge it right now. And that was at 12:01 today. So let's see here if it's actually right out of my account. No, I can tell you for sure if it's actually gone or if it's processing. Let's see. No, so right now it hasn't, but I think they'll send you an email and tell you one way or the other, like, yo, it's about to come out, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Chris, it's going up. Ryan says they're still tabulating sales for online retailers. We'll see if it changes tomorrow by morning. Yeah. Collective disconnect. They've got to give it to us pretty sure there's more overseas backers that can't get it through Pulse. It sure does seem like it. Chris Ingram, first time, long time. Congrats, everybody, on Giant Man. Absolutely. Crying greenly. I'm here for all the haters' tears. Christopher Bennett, this is my first HasLab. Got a second one last minute before minute. Wow, man, you really were into it. That's cool. So at least you can do both versions of it if you so choose. Oh, thanks for the heads up on there, Jamelin. So that's why you know. Okay, cool. TCB Toys. Have you picked up the Supergirl figure? No. I know a lot of people didn't like the Catwoman reuse. I feel like Todd is going through these cheap shortcuts and not creating a new buck. I mean, I don't even understand why he made a figure like that. I mean, just make a leg and boot sculpt. I mean, it's not like she's the only female character that has a skirt, has boots. I mean, it's just weird. I mean, he could have just repurposed the Power Girl, and just done her lower half. That would have worked pretty close anyway. Chris Ingram, knee pose for sure, bro. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm curious how many people have this shelf space to have him just standing tall. My card is a pending a charge. You got to get him for people to back out. Sasha Khan. Who here wonders if Hasbro throws a bone and throw it in anyway? Christopher Bennett says, I hope so. CL Hound. They'll find another 124 backers hidden under a table. My card is too. Yeah. Blake, are there overseas numbers coming in late? Is that a rumor or a real thing? Does HasLab sell to overseas retailers? I don't know about that. I want to speculate and be like, oh yeah, that's what's going on. Don't know at all on that. But at least as of right now, 1224 is still staying at 13,889. Ryan Daly says, fun fact, I paid for 3 HasLabs that I have not yet received. Yes. So I think we're in the exact same boat. So there's 2 G.I. Joes, 1 Marvel Legends. And, it would have been funny because you probably, if the Engine of Vengeance had funded, there would be 4 that you would have paid for in this whole window without receiving. So I feel like they probably need to, find a way to shrink that production window, treat it like these G.I. Joe pre-orders and Marvel Legends pre-orders where it's coming in December, but it's actually going to come tomorrow. So I think they need to work on that piece. Joseph Batista says, I hope so on the overseas. Yeah. Dean Anthony says, Hasbro can win some favor with the fans if they throw in that scroll head. I feel like they would win some favor, but I feel like there would be an equal amount of complaining from people going, this is ridiculous. They didn't make that. I would have backed it if they had only said they would include the scroll head. You know how some folk go. Robert Christensen, 124 shy of the scroll face. You got to be kidding. Yeah, I think my last one, it was 111. So, yeah, it was really close. Hasbro just makes money. There's going to be some celebration parties happening in their office. Well, I'm sure they're happy that it got funded. And I feel like that was where, there was maybe a little bit of sweating, a little bit of sweaty palms, little necks getting little necks and foreheads getting a little anxious. But I'm sure once it crossed over, okay, we don't have to go to the big bosses and tell them, we don't know what happened. Another consecutive HasLab didn't fund. Now it's in the banks and they're all happy. Let's go Australia. Christopher Bennett, Giant Man actually getting funded, calls for the Rocky theme to start playing. Oh, absolutely. Dana Riz, before I have to go, I want to share my haul for the weekend. I got the NECA Jungle Predator Juggernaut Deadpool for 15. Nice. The Court of Owls mask and comic for $2. Hard to believe I paid $2 to get. That's wild. Chavez, 111. Exactly. Chris says, please give us that scroll head. I would love to take a picture of a Skrull invaded Avengers. They're still adding more to the tally. Awesome. Lost a Classic Wasp was an early prototype. Dan said it wasn't necessarily the final version of how she's going to look. Now that's interesting. I wonder what the final version is going to look like. Bond Williams. I was able to order 2 Giant Mans a couple minutes after the time ran out just to see if it would work. Did it? Did I back more than one? No. No, there's literally no reason for me to back more than one. For starters, no space for 2 Giant Men. And I don't know if they had maybe been like, hey, if you buy more than one, we'll give it alternate Goliath colors. I'd have been like, yes. But since that wasn't an option, I did not. I really would have if they said your second one could be Goliath. Lawson, this HasLab starting to seem like a presidential vote. They still being tallied. I hope that's the case. It's only 111 away from the last tier now. I'm sure there are at least 11 more untallied voters. I keep doing voters. More than it. I am sure there are at least 111 more untallied orders still processing. It seems like they've stopped now. Chris Ingram says Scrollhead would be some goodwill with the Hasbro team. Let me make sure I got your name right. Litla Kovato. We got it. It's so close to the last tier. Maybe I can do something later where you can buy that for like $10 or something. You know what? That would probably be a good compromise because people were feeling a certain way that they didn't get there. I do feel like 111 is almost Price is Right, so close. They should just let you win both showcases, or in this case, all the different tiers since it was so close. Like if it was like 13,000, I said nah, but I mean this is just triple digits away from getting complete, and barely triple digits. I bet Fing Fang Foom is the HasLab next year with the success of Giant Man is T'Challa Omoro. I wonder how they pull him off. I mean, I look at what Storm Collectibles did, and of course, the scale is totally different. But I just finally opened my Liu Kang with a dragon there. I'm like, this is an amazing sculpted figure. I wonder how they could plus that up to basically the same size. He's basically a head, small but long neck, and a smaller body. I wonder how that would work. Dan just teased the writer in Unparalleled stream. Oh man, the same time? I should have had Dan and Ryan come on here. Fanboy Cantina, so very close to 14,000. It's a rounding error at this point. Hope they might figure out a way for the Scarlet. That would be great. Ryan, I got Tripwire today. No surprise, he's awesome. I wonder if I got him now if he'd arrive by Friday for my birthday. Mr. Cheeseburger. I don't think it's factored in until it reaches 14,000 backers. At 14,000, that's when it was paid for. Maybe right. Casanova Frankenstein. Who wants to bet Apocalypse or Fing Fang Foom is next? I would struggle to see. I mean, I know a lot of people here have been going, Apocalypse would be a great one, but I just don't know how he would work in terms of being that HasLab. I mean, he's really rarely done that in the comic books, and to do him justice, you would need X Factor and various outfits. One of which would be their blue and yellow, not training attire that they had when they were part of the X-Men. Let's see, this will pull up really fast. Oh gosh, that's the real problem with that TV show X Factor. Just pull up everything. Let's see here, there. It's not quite the way I want to go with this. Let's try you. Nope, that's not great. And I'm still just pulling up these images. Anyway, Willis Portacio. Let's try it this way. He drew them in these very quickly here and gone attire. And basically, of course, because this era of the X Factor, they were about to move over and go into the main book, hang out, and form the blue and gold team. This is the outfits that they would really need to have if they were going to face off against a giant apocalypse. I buy them because I love the X Factor, but I don't think they would do that. Curious for those that have premium, do the HasLabs get free shipping? Yes, I thought so. That's my understanding. Curious for do the HasLab gets free shipping? To me, it sounds like they don't even premium. I think so. Let me know if you guys know for sure. Toy Bounty Hunter. Good day. Back Giant Mid and got Tripwire today. That's a very good deal. Jelly Jam. Yeah, HasLab shipping is free with premium. Rakar. We did it. Slasher Con. I buy Transformers the most, followed by Marvel Legends, so it's an already expensive hobby for me. Yeah. Lawson, we got Clea. Now we need a classic Baron Mordo. Yes. Chris Ingram, my car just got built. That's the thing I'm not excited about. T'Challa Moro. I want the scroll head more than that zombie head. I hate the zombie motifs. It's so played out and lame, not just in Marvel, but in DC and everywhere else. Dog, the tiers were baked into the price. I asked during Unparalleled Universe live stream, and MCU Collector answered saying it was to maximize profit. That's not an answer. Let's see here. Okay. Christopher Bennett. Oh, nice. I was tempted to get premium, but didn't want to since I wasn't sure how that worked with HasLabs. It's really good to get it because you get access to the back in stock orders, you get the free shipping, and you don't have to worry about a minimum order. You can just grab anything. Plus, when they do their sales, like they're going to do their Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, 30% off sale, you'll get more than if you weren't a premium member. So if you order just a basic amount, you'll make that money back from the savings you get later on. Excuse me. There you go. It's like 68 to go from probably not going to fund to fully funded, plus potentially blowing through both incentive tiers within 24 hours is bonkers. Success story for sure, but way to make Hasbro sweat. Adrian Betts, what's up? Have to admit, I didn't think Giant Man was going to make it, but now I'm very happy. We got so close to the last tier. Ironically, I didn't care about them, but now I wish we'd make it to 14,000. Yeah. Wait, are they still going? Mine just went up 13,990. That would be wild. Let's see here. That has just been one more. Not mine's still 1889. Maybe people are backing out. And okay, man, we're getting that scroll ahead. Really can't wait. This is my first HasLab. Welcome to the HasLab supporting party. It's a stressful time if you're backing Marvel Legends sometimes. Ryan, I did get that email too. Charged already. Wandismo. They closed already. Yep. Mentor King. I've been trying to find the Giant Man HasLab all day, but it wouldn't accept my AVS. And now the deadline away. I can contain some. Why is it working? Dang. Mine was 233.80 total. Did you not have the premium pulse? Because that's where it really makes a difference. Because that extra, geez, was it $20? $22 more dollars. Are you in the US? Got charged 10 minutes ago. Adrian X, I just got charged. King Cold, I got billed just now. There's a lot of excitement about that money coming out of our accounts. The Shalimar can't they still throw on the scroll head is throwing at me considering the miraculous success. I think it would hurt to do that. The zombie head is useless to me personally. Robert got charged just now. Eric Hillcrest, I was just charged. Super Tizo, yeah, they got to do the scroll head. It's too close to the goal. Oops. Eric, it's 11:22 in Texas. Are they still counting yours, or was it? Oh, because I don't have the details anymore. It stopped. So I'm curious if you all are still able to back it. I thought this was Eastern Standard Time, but let me know. Christopher, yeah, I didn't get much sleep. Super Tizo, I got my order in 11:58. That is really cutting it close. Doom Customs, Mind Charge, Jeff. This was so fun just to sit back and watch. I'm back day and minute number 1. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Retro Robo, I'm late to the party, but just want to say congratulations to all the Giant fans out there who really wanted this, like me. Exactly. It was really fun. JK Dynamite. Exactly. Joshua Alvarez, I ordered 2 more last minute. Let's see if we find more backers to have one of each head. That's wild. Brent, my first HasLab. Glad we made it happen. Very exciting. Super Tizo, yeah, I had it back when it first launched, but canceled it when it wasn't looking like it funded. See, that's always the thing. It's kind of funny because like if you back out, people are gonna be like, "Oh, I need to back out of it too." And you saw that happen with the Engine of Vengeance when people were like, "It's not gonna fund." There was a mass cancellation for it. And it's like, so the final numbers on that thing look worse than they really are because it was probably closer to 6 or 7, and then people just started backing out, I guess, to kind of prove a point. But if you're interested, it does not cost you a penny because if it doesn't fund, whatever, it's not like they're going to take the money out and be like, we got you. And then you have to go through this whole process to get your money back. It's just sitting there and then you don't have to deal with it. So, in the future, this one worked out. But if you're interested in these HasLabs or any crowdfunding projects, stick with it until the end, at least HasLab, because I know they don't charge you until the end. Retro Robo, kudos to Jeff for always keeping it positive. I mean, got to. I mean, this is figures. This should be fun, right? Lolita Kovato, I got my email, check my account. I took my money. Quick, right? Jimerez is my 4th HasLab I'm now waiting on. Deathsaurus, his tank, Dragonfly, and Giant Man. I mean, I feel like we can't really count the Dragonfly and Giant Man, but those first 2 for sure we can count because they are absolutely last year's HasLabs. And it's time for them to start rolling in on the mail here. Jelly Jam. They may fudge the back account instead of just throwing the head in to save face. I mean, whatever works. I mean, I know a lot of you all in the chat have been pulling for this scroll head. So for your sake, I hope it goes through just because I think it would be a nice little bonus and like, hey, congratulations, we found these other backers, so we got it. Also, including the Skullhead would set an expectation for future HasLabs that they don't want to set. You were probably right, but I think we're seeing there's some fluctuation in terms of what happens with these all the time. Like people are going, "Where's the bonus? Where's the early bird?" So I mean, I think the rules are fluid with those, and I don't necessarily think if it's within 100 or 120 of getting funded all the way. I don't know if that's a precedent they'd have to worry about coming up with all their HasLabs. I don't think we'd ever see that with the G.I. Joe. Probably not with the Star Wars Vintage Collection set either. So Marvel Legends might be the only one. Excuse me, in some cases, that just depends on the tiers. Stingray Delta. I'm so excited for this. I'll finally be able to complete my Avengers Original 5 display with Wasp coming out too. Absolutely. And they already did that when they let another HasLab get extended, right? I think that was with Ultron. So it was way back in the day. But yeah, for sure. Blastertron 7053 of the future. Well, if it's true that we don't get the scroll head, some collectors out there always have the option to buy a giant man head later on in the aftermarket and make a custom scroll head somehow. I mean, some folk are doing it. Now, nobody on the Marvel Legends is fired. Yeah, X. I mean, I feel like there could have been some concern and worry. I know people were like, they should get fired. I didn't want to see that, of course. So I'm really glad that none of the team has to worry about it because, heads might have rolled with 2 consecutive HasLabs not getting backed on the Marvel Legends team. So glad to see that's not a problem or an issue whatsoever. Oops, there we go. And like Lawson says, it's like my grandpa told me when I was a kid, some people just want to watch the world burn and some want to fund a giant man. That would be me. Chris, wait for all the haters to come out next fall. We all have our giant men and they have their sob stories trying to buy it on the secondary market. The Shallow Moral. Honestly, I wish Hasbro had the DC license too. Could you imagine a DC Legends line alongside Marvel Legends? That would be a dream come true. McFarlane gets on my nerves. He shouldn't have it, in my opinion. Jamlin, if you've ever read in the comments during the Hasbro streams, you know that they could throw in a scroll head and a figure and people would still complain. I absolutely know that. I mean, it is a pipe dream because there would be some reason people would be upset with it. Mr. Cheeseburger, thank you so much for the 199 super chat, my friend. I love this channel. Great job, Jeffrey. Thanks, man. I really, really appreciate it. Ooh, T'Challa Moore, you had an expensive night. My Crimson Strike Force shipped out tonight from Pulse. Because I wonder if anyone will be customizing this. A lot more potential for customizing than Galactus and Sentinel. That's true. Lost and Ramen Toys should do a fling, boom. Probably. BDM payment went through for the HasLab. Nice. Slasher Con, you with me? I would love to have a fantastic car, to be honest. Exactly. That would be really fun and cool. Lawson, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, my friend. I really appreciate it. Some action figure channels stir stuff up, but I feel like Jeff's channel is the most welcoming place for action figure fans. Thanks, Jeffrey. Thank you. I mean, why not? We're talking about figures. It should be fun. We should have a relaxed, welcoming environment where everybody can just share their opinions. And as long as they're respectful, it's all good. So, let's keep having a good time here. Lawson says, I think good HasLabs for Legends might be a fantastic car at Quinjet. I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of how the Quinjet would work, but fantastic car, absolutely would be fun. Toy Bounty Hunter, if they do Apocalypse as a HasLab, then he better come with the 4 Horsemen. I'd rather see a brood hive of Queen and drones. That could be really fun. That would be pretty fun. Tizo says they get free with premium, but not without. Klein Greenlee says, yeah, I had no interest in Apocalypse. Same. I mean, I feel like he's great as a regular, maybe deluxe size like we have. He doesn't turn giant enough for me to feel like he would be a really essential one. I think Fing Fam Foom would be a really good one. I feel like they're getting pretty close to the end of giant figures that would sell for HasLab. Sure, they could do a Frost Giant. I think maybe Surtur could work, but I think that would be a perfect opportunity for them to do some Thor characters as tiers. And I know people complain, but I feel like that would be a really good use for it. Renegade Biker 24. Hey there, Jeff and chat. What's up? Mr. Cheeseburger, any HasLab more than $200 is going to be an uphill battle. There's nothing they can make that would be huge that people want or find value in it. Yeah, so that's exactly what I was thinking, because I feel like at this point we've got the three, I would say, really essential, necessary giant figures. Maybe they could do the Watcher, but I'm curious if people would feel like paying 150 plus for him would be worth it, when I think a lot of people have that Marvel Select one and like, yeah, I'm good. So I'm curious about him. He might be the only one that I would kind of be like, maybe they could push him. But I think he'd be one they absolutely would need to have some really cool tier figures to help sell it. Jalvarez says that they release this base body modifier for Goliath. Can't they mod a Sentinel to a Stark Sentinel? That's so current. I even wonder if people would be clamoring for it. Jalen Cheeseburger is correct. They base the backer goals on the MOQ and the profit margin they want. However, they can cover the difference of 100 or so units with no loss to them. Renegade Biker 24, true, Mr. Cheeseburger. Canadians can't get premium. That's terrible, Adrian. Man, that's a really bad deal. Manuel Horace. Great. Now we have to wait a year and a half to get it. Yeah, there is that downside. Ryan, I forgot. My son recently discovered who Carnage is, and he told me he likes Spider-Man's black suit. So guess what Marvel Legends 2-pack he's getting for Christmas? Renegade Biker 24. I was thinking that Giant Man was going to be a marvelous failure. No, sir. We got him, and we're all squared away. Cesar Hujo. Happy for my Giant Man. Absolutely. Klein Greenlee. Yeah, I'm not feeling the tears either. JK says, smash that. Thank you. Blake, someone needs to stuff the ballot boxes so you all can get the scroll head. Ark says, we're Central Time, but it stopped at 13,889. That seems to be where it stopped with me as well. So, yeah. Lefty T Lions BK says, my third HasLab this year. I'm tapping out for a good while. I am with you. Adrian, I didn't go in on the his tank because I was waiting for the Marvel Legends HasLab offering. Yeah, so I back the Dragonfly first day. That was a pretty good one. Zion Collectibles says, hopefully they still make a 12 to 14-inch Giant Man Goliath. I really hope they do, because I still want another version. I mean, I want so many different versions of Goliath. I definitely need that blue and yellow, but I wouldn't mind the red and blue. And of course, the different versions of Clint. I also want that Giant Man from the Avengers Heroes Return look that when he first came back with the team with Wasp. I think that would be a really cool figure. And I think a 12-inch version of him would be just fine. Chris, I just got charged for my Giant Man. I guess it's official. Congratulations to everyone. We did it. Moss Corpse. If the scroll head is not included, maybe Ramen Toys can make it. Maybe so. No, you didn't, Skylar. Everything is all right. Renegade Biker 24. Adrian, I didn't get the chance to get either the his tank or the Dragonfly. I backed out of the his tank right before it fully funded because of vehicle issues and missed the Dragonfly. Ramiro Zapata. I'm a little worried of the durability of the giant mask. I'm curious to see how that works too. I feel like I'm going to choose a faceplate and stick with that unless I'm really doing a whole bunch of things. But I feel like I'm just going to use that regular default one because, I mean, none of the other ones have it. I think it's a cool feature. I don't know if I'd ever really use the smiley one, and the angry one would be fun to swap out so long as it's not some issue of it tearing and messing things up. So I really want to see how the videos work and more behind the scenes videos of how they implement it. Chris, I love that art piece you have behind you of all the Justice League members looking up. Where did you get it? New York Comic Con. I got it from Kevin McGuire. He was actually selling art prints, so I actually got him to autograph it. And you know, I'm a huge JLI fan, and I was trying to see if I could pull up the picture because I was like, Kevin McGuire, would you sign my picture that you did of these guys? Let's see here. I was trying to see if I could find it really fast, but I can't. So I'll spare you the trouble. Maybe I'll try to post it in the chat or in the dashboard, the community dashboard. But yeah, I got it directly from him, so it was cool being able to give it to the artist who actually came up with it. So that was cool. George Savory, I would like to see them do a HasLab X-Men 97 Sentinel. that could be cool, but I wonder if they would feel comfortable double dipping doing another Sentinel. Logan 9T70 says they should do the Wrecking Crew, all four members. Thank you. I mean, I don't even know how I want the Wrecking Crew. I just want a 4-pack of them. You know, they've done box sets to complete teams. That would be welcome. Maybe something next year is an anniversary year for Secret Wars, so here's an opportunity. Maybe they could fold that into the Beyond Earth's Mightiest and just do like 2 packs of characters and to keep those rolling. Maybe they could do She-Hulk and Titania, 2 characters we still need. Absorbing Man and what's another? And Wasp. She's a character we don't have in that look. And then I'd still like those Fantastic Four more black and white outfits that we saw in that. So lots of ways they could go with it. And I would be down for any of the Secret War characters. RBE, since it's funded, what's included? So we've got base Giant Man, and then we've got the separate zombie head sculpt, faceplate. Not sure anymore what this is. It's a zombie faceplate, and we missed out on the scroll head. So we got 2 things, more importantly, the Giant Man and the zombie faceplate. Perpex. Fing Fang Boom HasLab, a classic Mandarin, classic Whiplash, one more Iron Man Rogue's Tears. I like the way you think, my friend. Ryan Daly says next HasLab could be a 7-foot tall Celestial. I'd be down for that. Dark 1997. Ayo, Jeff, just wanted to say how happy and the Giant Man funny. Yeah, boy. We did get it. I'm so happy too. Bring something. Hey, Jeff, this was fun to watch. Thank you so much for hanging out, man. Appreciate you. Jalen, do you ever customize or buy custom figures? Well, I used to. I used to really, back in the Toy Biz era of Marvel Legends, especially after they were done, and I've really hated the Hasbro original runs of figures. I was doing a pretty decent job of making custom Marvel Legends and tinkering and what do you call it, the minor fix-ups to my figures. I enjoyed it, but I really hated over time how sticky they got. I was never using the right spray to kind of seal it in. But then Marvel Legends started rolling through from Hasbro. And I was like, oh, these characters that I want, they're pretty much doing. And I did make a Moondragon custom that I was really happy with. I don't know whatever happened to her. I can't find the figure. Maybe it's some box of customs that are yet to be finished. But I was having fun doing it. But the way they're doing them now, I kind of feel like I could cobble more of the pieces together and just slap together what I needed since they're molding them in the plastics. But I haven't. Do you? Jay, glad this was back. The hate campaign against this was just silly. Absolutely. I mean, it was like, what's with the negativity? What did Giant Man do to y'all? Renegade Biker 24 asks, Jeff, do you think there will be a Rattler in HasLab as a rival for the Sky Striker? Like it was in the comics and the cartoon. The Rattler needs an upgrade because of the front gear. You know, I'm really curious what they'll do with the retro 3.75 line. Maybe that's something they'll push over to Super 7 because it seems like they're more focused on the classified series. I'm really curious where they're going to go next with the G.I. Joe HasLab for 2024. Are they going to go back and do a Cobra vehicle, kind of do it back and forth? I don't know. But I feel like the Rattler should be on the short list of what they would do for HasLabs. I'm just kind of curious how they make it happen. T'Challa moral. Thor-oriented HasLabs could be Surtur or Frost Giant. Surtur most likely. Curse could be a large deluxe, perhaps. I really want to see a Curse figure. He would be really fun, and they would just knock that figure out, I think. Adrian, to be honest, I think the faceplates and eyeballs are a kind of creepy feature. Well, I think they weren't necessary, but I think they helped add some value to it, and they were experimenting with something that they hadn't done before, which I appreciate. So I'm glad they're thinking outside the box. So that was cool. But yeah, like again, I would have preferred figures. Sean County, hey Jeff, did you get the Giant Man? First day. I was not going to wait any longer, but I had to get him. Christopher Mann, I would absolutely love an MCU HasLab. Who would that be? Skylar. HasLab Fing Fang Foom, perhaps? Nah, I don't know. I feel like if they wanted to go with a big scale character, he's like the last one, but I'm really curious. You know, I think they're going to need to start delivering some of these HasLabs. Like, I feel like they're going to need to start putting them out. getting them in the collector's hands, the ones that people have paid for already before they go into the next cycle. Like maybe they wait till spring where we start to get our his tanks and the Transformers one, because you don't want to have people going, this is my fifth one and I still haven't gotten anything. So we'll see where this goes. But I guess they're gonna have to use this time frame again for the next Marvel Legends one. Yes. I definitely had that one. For sure. Thanks, Jamie. Lawson says, you need a custom 20th anniversary Captain America with the Black Shadows on the mask. And Jeffrey, I know a guy. Yes. I dabble a little here and there, but haven't done a full custom in years. I did just modify my Luke Cage last night. Did you get in the blue pants too? Snake Eyes, like, remember seeing a G.I. Joe Jet? Did that get fun? Yes, it did. The Sky Striker HasLab funded 2 years ago. All right. I think, yes, I've actually caught up to everybody's questions and comments now. So it's 1 o'clock. I should probably wrap this up. What's up, being a fine figure? Hope you're doing well tonight. So, yeah, to recap, the Niners totally dropped the ball, just totally lost it. Let the Vikings put way too much points on them, but we did get the Giant Man fully funded. And I say fully funded. We got the figure. We did not get to 14,000 backers to get the zombie or get the scroll head. It seems like it's tapped out at 13,889 backers. And let's see, the last time I checked from Dan, let's see, nothing new on that end. So it looks like that's where we are. We're all set and done, and no new updates. So I think we're all good and all set. I just added some yellow under Luke's arms and gave him a little more movement in the waist. Now I need to ask you how you made that happen. Jerome says, I'm never back to HasLab, back this one just to wet my whistle. I was super excited to see the numbers climb every hour. It's kind of fun seeing that happen where it's like, oh man, we're actually going to get this to happen. So congratulations, and I hope next year you're excited to get it in hand. Brigadier, what if Marvel Legends went completely off the rails and came out with a series of HasLab that was a modern release of Inhumanoids? I mean, I would do it. Lost it. Good night, heroes. Thanks to everyone for the fun chat. It was fun to watch the countdown together. Well, Northern, I'm happy that your team won. Mine just totally dropped the ball. Aiden, good night, folks. Great stream, Jeffrey. I have a Giant Man coming. Woo! Yep, it's probably capped out. I think so. Ryan, thanks for this fun stream. Jeffrey, hope you have a wonderful cough collection vamp birthday this Friday. Thank you very much, my friend. So we'll see. Yes. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Monday night. Of course, I'll be back on Wednesday night for another edition of Lyle's Movie Files. Back again on Thursday for another Lyle's Figure Files, and then a special edition of Lyle's Figure Files on 10/27, my birthday, to see what Hasbro is offering for their Pulse event this Friday. So thank you so much. We got Giant Man. Hope you all have a great night wherever you're watching, and the rest of your week is good. Till then, see you next time. This episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.